Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture video of Object-Oriented Programming in C++. Myself Anandi, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology at VSB Engineering College, Karur. So in the previous video, we have discussed the unit 1, which is foundations of C++. In that, we have seen the basic concepts of C++ and how we are going to write a C++ program. So let's go into the second unit. So the second unit deals about the classes and objects, and these are the topics which we are going to discuss in this unit. The main objective of Unit 2 is to introduce the core object-oriented programming mechanisms for designing secure, efficient, and well-structured programs using classes and its related features. And this going to map with the program outcomes, engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design and development of solutions, conduct investigation of complex problems, modern tool usage, individual and teamwork, communication, lifelong learning, and department-specific outcomes 1 and 2. These are the topics which we are going to discuss in this presentation: classes, objects, access specifiers, and constructor and destructor, friend function, and friend class. So the first topic is classes. The classes and objects are the important object-oriented programming concepts that is used to represent the real-world entities and real-world concepts. A class is a user-defined data type which is used to represent both data and functions together into a single unit called class. So a class acts as a blueprint for an object and it is created with the help of a class keyword. So this is the syntax of how we are going to create a class. So class is a keyword that we have discussed now, and the name should be given for each class, and within the curly braces we are going to represent the access specifier, data members and member functions, and we have to give the semicolon at the end to represent the end of the class. Objects. Objects are an instance of a class. An object can be used to access the members of a class. So the object name with dot operator and the member can be used for representing the or accessing the members of a class. So an object can be created inside the main function with the help of the syntax class name space object. Next one is access specifiers. Access specifiers are the keywords which is used to control the accessibility of a class, which means the class members and member functions. So these are the different types of access specifiers used in C++: public, private, and protected. Public variables or public members can be accessed from outside members also. And if you are giving a variable as a private variable or a private function, the only class members can access that particular members. So outside of the function cannot access that particular members. And we are declaring a variable or a function as a protected variable, then that can be used only in the concept of inheritance. So this is one example program to represent a class and an object. So every C++ program will start with the header file IO stream, and using namespace standard is used for uniquely identifying the names in the program. Then we are going to create one class called employee, and in that we are going to declare some of the variables as private and some of the variable and functions as public. So at the end we have given semicolon, and in the main function we have created an object called emp for the class employee, and we have passed some values to the classes. So the variables and functions which we are declared as public only can be accessed from outside of a class, which means the name and the employee function can be used or accessed from outside, but the salary and emp id variable cannot be used from outside of a class. So we have used only the name. So if we are executing this program, so this will be the output if we are executing this program. And if you are giving the salary or ID in the output, then you will get an error message because it is declared as private member. So you will get an error because it is declared as private here. So the next topic is constructor. Constructor is a special member function that has the same name as a class name. And the constructor can be called when an object of that particular class can be created. So there are different types of constructors are available in C++, default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. And this is an example program for implementing constructor. So here we have created one class called my class, and we have declared the variables as public members. So data and my class are the members of the class my class. And the my class is a function and it is also the class name. So we have created a constructor, and this constructor function can be automatically invoked when an object for this class is created, which means, so we have given some data here which is assigned to 10, and we are giving one print statement here. So in the main function, we are going to just create one object for this class called object. Then if this statement gets executed, it will automatically call the my class function, and the statements which is given inside the function can be executed automatically without mentioning the or without calling the function. So we'll see how this program gets executed. So I'm going to remove and copy this one, and I will show how this gets executed. So we have not initialized or we have not called any function. Just we have created object here, and once an object is created, constructor is automatically called and this function gets executed. So the value 10 is assigned to data, and the constructor called data initialized to that will be printed, and the data value can be printed with the value 10. So like this, the constructor concept will gets executed. So the next concept is destructor. It is opposite to constructor. So the constructor used to create a memory space for the particular function or a variable, but destructor is a special member function of a class that is automatic. It is also called when the object's lifetime ends. When an object's scope in that particular program gets ended, then at that time the destructor function will be automatically called, and the statements which is given inside the destructor function will get executed. So the symbol which the tilde symbol can be used to represent a class or a function as a destructor function. So in this program, the same program that we have seen for constructor is implemented with the destructor also. So here we have called the constructor here, and we have created the destructor function also here inside the class. And if the object gets created, the constructor will be called, and the scope of the object will be ends in that place itself. Then automatically destructor also will be called. So let's see how this program gets executed. So I have just copied, and I am going to paste it in the compiler, and I am going to run. So the first, when the object is created, the constructor is called because the object scope is live there. Once the object scope is ends, then the destructor is automatically called and that statement will get executed. Likewise, the constructor and destructor concept will be used in the C++ language. So the next topic is friend function or a friend class. So if we are declaring a class or a member of a class can be private, then that particular things only can be accessed inside the class. But if we are going to declare a function or a class as a friend function or a friend class by the use of friend keyword, then that can be accessed by other class or other functions in the program. So that is the main use of friend function or a friend class. So if we are representing a function as a friend function, only that function can be accessed by that particular other classes. And if we are representing a whole class as a friend, then that can be used by other classes also. So the non-member function that is granted special permission to access the private and protected members of a class. So if we are giving a function as a friend function that can access the members even if it is represented as a private member. So a friend function can be a global function or a member function of another class. So it can be declared outside of the main function or it will be declared inside another class also. So this is the syntax of how we are going to give a friend function. So inside the class, you can just give the friend keyword and the function name with arguments. So this is one example program. So here we have declared one class called employee and we are going to declare display salary as a friend function. Then the display salary function can access the variables of and functions of the employee class. So the salary is a private variable or a private member of an employee class, but that can be accessed by outside of the class by this function. So this is the use of friend function. So the salary can be accessed by the function which is given outside of a class. So let's see how this program gets executed. I have copied that program. So here salary is a private member of another class, but we are going to use or access this salary variable with the help of friend function. So the salary, which is we have passed one value that can be accessed by this function. So likewise, a private member of a class can be accessed by a function which is declared or defined outside of that particular class. So similarly, we are going to see the friend class. So a friend class is a class which is used to access the private and protected members of another class in which it is declared as a friend. So if there is two different classes are inside the same program and one class can act as a friend for another class, then that class members can be used by the one which is given as a friend. So this is the syntax for creating a friend class. So two different classes A and B are here. So class B is a friend of class A, friend class B, which means the class B can access the private and public members of class A. So for this also we have one example here. So here we have given two different classes called printer and box. And the private members of, here we have given friend class printer, which means the class printer can access the values or members of a box class. So that we have given here. So width is a variable which is given as a private member of class box, but that can be accessed by the class printer here. So likewise, we are going to access the private members of one class by another class with the help of friend keyword. So we will see how this program also gets executed. So I'm just copying this. So and if you execute this, you will get the value of 10, which is passed as a width in this class. But the width is a variable that is declared as a member of box class, but that can be accessed by the class printer. So likewise, we can access both the private and public members of another class from one class using friend keyword. So after completion of the unit 2, the main outcome of the unit 2 is the students can be able to design and implement object-oriented programs using classes, access control, constructors, static members, and friend entities effectively. Thank you.